A while ago, I was watching a review on YouTube of some miniature 3.5 millimeter um, precision screwdrivers, and people were questioning why we need a smaller screwdriver than the fairly standard 4 millimeter precision screwdrivers that we can buy kits pretty much everywhere, from online to Walmart or whatever, Harbor Freight. So, well, here's the problem. Okay, they may be ostensibly 4 millimeter, but if you measure a bit, the actual bit, let's see. Now that's flat to flat, so it's just under 4 millimeters. But when you turn it sideways and measure, I don't know if you can see very well, but when you're measuring point to point, 4.2 millimeters. All right, so we see a lot of devices these days that have screws that are recessed down inside a short tunnel, and not only will the bit not fit sometimes, especially when it's only about an inch long, but unless you have long bits like this, which these came from, I think, a Cobalt kit, and they were originally double-ended, which I detest. So I bought two of them, and I cut the back ends off to make them flat because the double-ended bits won't fit some bit holders, some screwdriver handles. Anyway, okay, these can be pretty tough to find. I have not seen them in 3.5 millimeters so far, but I might pick up a set if I could. Anyway, to show you what you're at, obviously, if you got to fit inside a tight spot and you're using a bit that size, well, it's not going to help you. And if you measure, this is the Quinn Harbor Freight clone of the iFixit kit, similar handle. And we've got, check that out, 8.4 millimeters, just about 8.3 something millimeters. The extension that comes with that kit, which is a flexible, kind of a gooseneck. Okay. Again, 7.8 millimeters. So not something that's going to fit down inside a tiny tunnel. Here's another kit from Praz, and this one really only works if you use their extension, which has notches and can be set to different lengths, because if you put a bit in the head without the extension, it'll just drop in and you'll need pliers to get it out. But anyway, let's measure this, and you'll see it's almost 7.9 millimeters, and sometimes the knurling or rings in the stem of some screwdriver handles can be bigger than that. Here's another one from a cheap set. Better, 7.18, 7.2 millimeters. The knurling makes it fatter by about 15 mil. Here's a couple others. Okay, 7.7. No knurling on this. Okay, 6.95. That's about the smallest I've seen. Or, sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. 6.95. This is a ratcheting one. I don't really care for the ratcheting ones much. They always introduce some slop, and wobble. Okay, here's another ratcheting one. Cheapo. This was Husky. Okay, this was Cobalt. Now, same thing with the extensions. You need to get farther in there. 7.27, 7.28 millimeters. And even fatter by about 15 or so where the where the knurling is on it. And same scenario here. 7.2, 7.32. So you get the picture. Now, if you take a 3.5 millimeter set, and I've got some miscellaneous cheapo ones here. Let's see what we get. 6.3 mil. That's a little better. The actual hex head is 3.5 mil that way, but point to point is about 3.7 mil. Okay, so it's fatter than the flat side measurement. Depending, the effective diameter might be about 3.9 according to the notes I made. Here's another Husky again. Yeah, 6.2 mil. Oh, this is a 4 mil. That's mixed in there. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a 3.5 mil. Again. Yeah, 5.45. Yeah, 5.5. The hex is, 3.5 mil. And when you go kind of kitty corner on it, it goes up by almost 30 millimeters. Or 0.3. Yeah. 0.3 millimeters. So that's basically what you end up with, for trying to fit into tight spots. I haven't yet seen any extra long bits in the 3.5 mil, only, like I said, in 4, and they're not easy to find. And these were modified because I cut the back screwdriver ends off to make them single-ended. But that, unfortunately, is why we kind of need a second standard. It's either that or, you have to buy individual screwdrivers, 30 handles, let's say, to take care of everything that might show up in a kit like this. This is something I assembled with a different case and modified. This is the Praz kit, I think, where the bits just kind of pop up. And you've already seen the Harbor Freight kit, which I added a couple of pieces to. But yeah, although in theory a kit like this can cover pretty much everything, unfortunately, they don't.